Welcome everybody, welcome back to my channel, and thanks a lot for tuning in, like always. Thanks for spending some time with me, and welcome to Blues Wednesday part 2 for this week. This is one that had been requested and recommended a lot, and I don't know it. I somehow missed this guy, but he seems to be very big, like a lot of people wanted to see him. And I mean, I love some blues, I love some good guitars, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna like it. The song is called I Still Got the Blues by Gary Moore. If you haven't watched it and you like it, then definitely check out the original. I will put a link in the description box down below, like always. And I think I don't want to talk too much. Let's just get into the music.
Used to be so easy to give my heart away, but I found out the hard way. There's a price you have to pay. But I found that love was no friend of mine. What I should have known.
He definitely has a voice. That's something that I didn't expect too much. I mean, I didn't know him, so I thought it would just be some great guitar. But he definitely has a voice. That lick that he just started, that little riff, reminded me a little bit of I Put a Spell on You. Yeah, I like it so far. His voice is pretty great.
So I've still got the blues for you. Used to be so easy to fall in love again. I found out the hard way. It's a road that leads to pain. It's more than just a game. You're playing to win, but you lose just the same. So love, it was so long ago, but I've still got the blues for you. Since I've seen your face here in my heart, there's an empty space where you used to be.
I will start that guitar solo over, don't worry. Yeah, his voice is great, man. Sounds very much like 80s, I would say. Just a thin synthesizer sound in the back. That's the decade where they discovered the synthesizer and they had to put it on every song, I feel like. Not sure if I like the synth the most, but his voice is great. I love the dynamics and his belting as well. And he's got some control for sure. Yeah, but now let's get into the guitar.
Here in my heart, there's an empty space where you used to be. I've still got the blues for you. Though the days come and go, there is one thing I know. I've still got the blues for you.
Okay, the first guitar solo was pretty nice. Not too crazy yet, but a lot of feel in his bendings. Like that's what you would expect, and I think this one might get a little bit more intense. I would guess so. I mean, you have to build up the song. But yeah, his voice is really kind of reminds me a little bit of the voice of John Farnham. Gotta tell you that just his belting, but he's a little bit more bluesy, that decrescendo and all that stuff. But he has a lot of control over his voice, so he's a great singer for sure. Okay, let's go.
Got the blues for you.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Really liked the second guitar solo. Really liked the second guitar solo where he was had these little shredding parts in there, which I really liked. But of course, it was more about the feel and the feeling and all those bending notes, like it is often in blues. Um, when you listen to the greatest blues guitarists, they don't shred all the time. That's not what it's about. They have, of course, they have their parts in between all of this where they do shred a little bit and get some speed on it and are very impressive. But it's so much about the feel and also about the little breaks where you don't play anything, and the dynamics as well. But yeah, he had a great voice, man. He definitely had a great belting voice with a lot of control. Also in the more quiet parts, great control about his vibrato and the dynamics in his voice, and the guitar was of course great, like all about the feeling and the little bendings. Well, little, they weren't too little, like the big bendings in his play, sustaining the notes. That was pretty nice. His voice was pretty great, I think. I mean, I grew up in the 90s, early 2000s, so I missed a lot in the 80s. Well, I know more 70s music than 80s. Not sure why. Maybe one of the things that I don't like too much is this synthesizer sound of the 80s. I'm just not the biggest fan of that. But yeah, anyway, he was great. I mean, his voice were pretty awesome. A lot of feeling, not only in his guitar play, but also in his singing, in his vocals. Great control over his vibrato and the dynamics, like not only the belting, but also the more quiet parts, where he had a lot of feeling in it. And I also of course, I also enjoyed the guitar. And yeah, that's it, man. Hope you liked the reaction. Have a great day. See you next time.